to the podium in the courtroom. Good morning, sir. Can I please have your name and date of birth?
Terrell Suggs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suggs. I also understand that I have a lawyer from the county attorney's office to appear on this case. If that's true, may I please have appearance of counsel for the state?
George Kellerman from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Kellerman. Welcome. Okay, Mr. Suggs, you are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are one count of disorderly conduct involving weapons, which is a Class 6 felony, and one count of threatening or intimidating, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Based on the information provided to me as of right now, I don't have enough information to make a determination as to whether or not you financially qualify for the appointment of a court lawyer. For that reason, I intend to ask you a few questions. Please know that you are not under any obligation to answer these questions. So my intent is to try to determine whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. I don't have any other intent by asking these questions, but an answer of I prefer not to answer is completely acceptable. Mr. Suggs, are you currently employed?
No.
Do you believe that you have the financial means to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
Okay. For that reason, I am going to find that you are not indigent. If you wish to have legal representation against these allegations, you will have to hire a lawyer of your own choosing at your own expense. Okay, your next court hearings on these allegations will be a status conference April 25th. That'll be followed by a preliminary hearing April 29th. Both of those hearings will take place at 8:30 in the morning in the Superior Court downtown. Okay, Mr. Kellerman, before I move to imposing any release conditions, would the state like to make an argument or recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. The state does not object to the recommendation that he be placed on supervised release with pretrial services. The state does not believe he poses a continuing danger to the community nor a flight risk. That being said, the state believes the following comments are appropriate. According to the information in the police form 4 and what was recorded on the victim's video camera, Mr. Suggs basically was the initiator in this verbal altercation. It was his vehicle that apparently backed up. When they finally both got returned into their vehicles, it was he who was driving away that shot the bird or flipped the other party or driver off, and he's the one that brandished the firearm. So the state simply wants to say that although it's agreeing to supervised release, the state would expect that he do nothing to increase the intensity of any altercation or disagreement he may be involved in. Finally, the state believes that if he gets a copy of the police report, that report will clearly identify the other party, the victim in this case. So the state wants to remind him he's to have no contact whatsoever with that individual or any of that individual's family members. And finally, that Mr. Suggs is to possess no firearms during the resolution of this case, and that if he has any, he is to turn them over to someone else or surrender them to the police. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kellerman. Mr. Suggs, I agree with the county attorney that based on the allegations against you, I do not believe that you pose an ongoing risk to the safety of the general community. For that reason, I will follow the recommendation of pretrial services to release you without a monetary bond to the direction of pretrial services. So what that means is you will be released from custody sometime here in the next several hours. When you get out of custody, it will be very early in the morning on Wednesday. You will have until 5 p.m. on Friday to call pretrial services. In your release order, which you'll get handed a copy of when you step back, in that release order, there's going to be 2 phone numbers to pretrial services. I'm still not sure why we give you two different phone numbers. You don't have to call both of them. Just pick one of those numbers and call them by 5 p.m. on Friday. While you are on release, you're ordered not to return to the scene where these events allegedly took place. You are ordered, as Mr. Kellerman has indicated, not to initiate any contact with the alleged victim in this case or any of the alleged victim's next of kin. You are ordered not to possess any weapons during the pendency of this criminal case. If you still have weapons in your possession, please give them to somebody else, at least until this criminal case is over. You can also surrender them to law enforcement if you choose to do that. If you are currently in possession of weapons and you need to figure out what to do with them in order to comply with this order, what I will encourage you to do is, if you hire a lawyer, tell your lawyer that you have an order not to possess weapons, but that you currently have some in your possession, and your lawyer can help you figure out how to legally dispossess yourself of those weapons without having to permanently get rid of them. The last thing I will say is, although it's not an allegation in this case, one of the standard release conditions is that you not possess any drugs without a valid prescription while you're on release. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes, Sheriff.
Okay. Anything further before I conclude this matter, Mr. Kellerman?
Oh, no, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Mr. Suggs?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. You are free to step back to your left. Did I make any changes?